Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. On this, the first Saturday in May. It's my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday month, and you can go ahead and be counting off on that. When you turn 80, I told my wife I wanted 80 gifts. I wanted to drive 80 miles to eat. I wanted $80 from everybody that gave me a present. But then I realized I wasn't going to get very much for my birthday. So that all fell out. So I'm just letting you folks know out there that I'm on the poverty line here. But first Saturday, and normally we would have Dave and Dave, Daryl and Daryl, Dave Gabbert and Gene Smith. But this is a special Saturday. And so we're going to bring in a couple of special guys on this show that I know both of them are looking forward to our guest today. And that is, of course, Ron Wong is over there with his hook outfit on. And
good morning, Larry. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be back in studio.
Yeah, it is, Ron.
It has been a while since I've been here.
Yes.
Put a lot of miles in on that SUV that I have.
And your shoes.
And
your walking
there's
shoes.
a lot of good content out there on LarryRay.com.
That's right.
From my travels, the classic, the Red Crest Cup, Gross Sylvain, Strike King Media Camp.
Yes.
Go out and check out some of the photos and some of the videos that are out there.
They're on there on LarryRay.com. And, of course, we worked in with Ron, his interpreter. Now, I'm not on the spot now. It's always good to have Bill Cooksey with us from Vanishing Paradise and the National Wildlife Federation, sitting at his home on Kentucky Lake up in that area. And we're going to talk to Bill a lot today, too, about fishing and things going on. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Larry, Ron, and everybody. I mean, man, it's still turkey season.
It is.
Fish are up and biting,
Yes.
And we've got some good conservation stuff going on, too. So
Well, we're going to mention all of that, but I know both of you guys have been really busy. I still haven't had a chance to turkey hunt yet, but I will say that on Tuesday I got another good report from my cancer doctor. He said he'll see me in 2 months. Now, I said, if you can just figure out how to get rid of all this pollen and everything else.
Oh, it'll pass.
It'll pass,
I hope.
or I will.
Soon.
Or I will, one of the two. He said that my immune system is still not as strong as it should be. So that's why I'm going to rely on Ron and Bill this morning in case I got 2 cough drops. Ron brought me a goodie bag, though. That makes me feel better. And then we're going to have a special guest later on in the show. It's going to be in here because it's almost fishing rodeo time. And a lot of folks out there saying, well, this is a great time because we're getting ready to come up. Free fishing weekends coming up in June. Fishing rodeos are starting for youth, and we got one getting ready to crank out in the Mid-South, and so we're going to be talking about that. And then, of course, as I think Ron's already slipped in there about a place that he recently visited that I've seen the photographs he took, and can't wait to talk with Doug Miller, the executive director or manager of whatever it is, Gross Sylvain, out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, and looking forward to that, Ron. And then a couple of special guests, Ron. Tell our listeners they need to stick around, right?
They absolutely do. There's an event that's coming up at the Agri Center in the middle of May here that's a family event, and great to take the kids out and watch them catch some big old catfish and a lot of catfish. It's a great event. I have covered it before, and I got to tell you, it's a great thing that the Agri Center puts on every year, and it's a good way to get the kids out. And there'll be people around there that'll help them and teach them also. So that's a good thing.
And then these 2 special guests, I don't think I hesitate to say Cooksey knows more about them probably, but I don't know if anybody's ever had back-to-back segments on 2 champions like we do in the bass fishing world on today's show, Ron. And you helped set that up. So tell our listeners who we're going to talk to.
Oh, well, I got to tell you, having the opportunity to go to the Red Crest Cup in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then on to Knoxville, Tennessee for the Bassmaster Classic. First of all, it was great events in both places, and we're very fortunate to get the champion of the Red Crest Cup, Brian Thrift.
Yes, yeah.
He's a special person, a great person, a great family man, a very godly man, and I have to tell you, he will represent the Red Crest Cup.
He will
in a fashionable way, and we got Jeff Gustafson coming up, and I got to tell you,
the Canadian.
You talk about somebody that's really. I thought he was a Southerner, other than the way that he kind of had that Northern accent.
Yeah.
Because he is really a down-home person.
Yes, he is.
He is a great champion. He's going to represent BASS very well as a champion. And I can't wait for us to get to talk to these two guys for doing what they did. I mean, not only did they put a lot of money in their pocket, but
$300,000 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're great people. Great people.
Ambassadors.
And they're going to be super ambassadors for all of the fishing world.
Well, I know that.
Ron, I thought it was cool. Gussie had a Lund boat and it had no downriggers, none of that stuff on it. I mean,
oh, he took them off. But he's been running Lunds for a long time.
I know.
And what he'll tell you
Yeah.
is he's got one of the slowest boats
Yeah.
on the lake.
Yeah.
Even though it has a 250 horsepower engine on it.
Yeah.
But he can run to places in foul weather that nobody else can. And I got to tell you something. Lund makes a good boat. And
yes, they do.
And of course, the slowest boat belongs to Keith Poche. Runs a Gator boat, great Gator track boat.
Yeah.
With a 90-horse motor on it. And he says top end, without a cameraman, he can get 48 miles an hour. That's slow in the real world there.
That is.
But, Bill, a lot of those boats are really, really good boats. And that Gator Track's a great duck hunting boat, too.
It is.
Well, I know we're going to talk fishing with these two guys. It's coming up back-to-back with Gussie in the second segment, coming right after we jaw a little bit here. And I told Brian Thrift, I said, we'll try not to go too long with Gussie, Brian, so we don't want to cut you short. So he's going to be clocking us to make sure we get equal time between the Classic and the Red Crest. That Ron was at both of those. Of course, Bill, I know you were at the Classic in Knoxville. They knocked the socks off over 160,000 people, which I think we talked about this, Ron, and Bill also, that didn't surprise a lot of folks.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill, you were there. You saw how receptive the crowd was. Just a marvelous event there.
It was wild, Larry, and I've never been to a Classic, but I've been to an awful lot of events in the last 50 years, and it was I don't even know what to compare it to. The lines were kind of reminiscent of the best years of the DU Great Outdoors Festival, except they were bigger, for something our folks here can relate to, maybe.
That's right.
It was amazing, truly amazing.
Bill, did you find it hard to navigate through the expo, with not only all of the people, but the different buildings?
Well, I walked in there I was there early, so I managed to see a lot of it before it got crazy.
Right.
And when I walked in Saturday to the main building, I turned around and walked out. I knew there were people on the outside I needed to see anyway, so I said I can make better time outside. It was that crowded.
It was,
and all of those people going in there, Academy Sports were giving away their 5-gallon buckets so they could fill them up. Buying stuff there,
and
it was
my
crowded.
My wife now has them with full of tomato plants, Ron.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be fun talking to those guys, and then just action here with Ron and Bill on this first Saturday in May, and I know that we're all looking for a great May. The Memphis in May is kicked off. I had a chance to go to a Redbirds game last night. First time I've been down there in a long time, and we do have a baseball team here. They may be better than the parent team. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding.
Judging by the results of the Cardinals so far, but a lot of things happening in May, and of course it all ends on May the 28th when the 50th St. Jude Bass Classic rolls into Sardis Lake down there, and I know Ron's been involved in that event for ages like I have, but for me, I guess you're still the only man that's ever. You won it by yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, it was when it was just a single fisherman.
Yeah.
I won it twice. There was another team, I can't remember who it is, but it was a team effort. Won
but
it twice.
You were by yourself.
Yeah. Now the first time I won it, I think there was 570 anglers. The second time I won it had 630 anglers in it.
Oh man! Well,
it was crazy.
Well, we're going to talk on next week's show. In fact, we're going to have Gary Conklin in about a great event that they do with that fishing for the kids, and of course, Jimmy Washington is going to be the MC at this year's St. Jude Bass Classic. We'll be talking about that. A lot of fun this morning. Bill Cooksey on the road. Well, he's not on the road. He's where he needs to be. Ron Wong is here with me.
I've been on the road, though.
You have been on the road. You are a road.
You were down in Florida for a while, weren't you, Bill?
No, I've not been to Florida, but earlier in the week I was in Arkansas at Five Oaks. We were working on our Mississippi River program on bottomland hardwoods. So I got to show a lot of folks about how important those bottomland hardwoods are and how bad a shape they're in, and also spend some time in Nashville with TWF working on some West Tennessee River issues. So there's a whole lot of good stuff there. And then I've been turkey hunting a little bit. We're
going to talk about that. Let's take our first break. We're going to come right back. We're going to come out with a Bassmaster 2023 champion himself, straight from Canada on Outdoors with Larry Ray.